I decided to make today like shakshuka, and also because it's like 10 a.m. for you guys, so it's also great for breakfast. And you know, that's basically what present our cuisine.
So I'll just tell our audience, I posted in the chat a link to Nir's recipe. So you can, if you're looking for the ingredients he's going to use, you also have that up there. It's also on our website, israelstory.org. Yeah, Nir, so what do we do?
So, you know, all the time that I used to live in New York, I try always to preserve my childhood memories, to bring it to New York and to give it my own express, like my own style. So shakshuka, it's basically like all-night tomato stew, something that very common in Middle Eastern families.
So Nir is a little bit cut off there, but I guess you're chopping an onion and sauteing an onion. Nir, we can't hear you at the moment, so I'm gonna narrate this for the audience. I see you're burning the eggplant and burning an eggplant on the fire and burning a pepper. Sorry for these technical difficulties, guys. Hopefully Nir's gonna fix this up in a second.
You can see me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Yeah, let's see. Let's
okay,
keep going.
So my version of shakshuka, I like it a little bit with the smoky flavors. So that's why I burn the red peppers and the eggplant. It gives it like a little bit more smokiness and more rich flavors. As you see, in Israel we have like an amazing Maggi tomatoes that we're gonna use for this sauce.
You just put the pepper and the eggplant on the fire like that?
Like that, open flame. I make sure that I burn it like you know, all over. You can see it. It gives you like a lot of nice flavors. So you basically can, you know, in the Israeli cuisine, we really like all the smokiness. So I can, using like burnt eggplant, basically with a lot of stuff, like salads, like vinaigrette. So this one is something that I always like to add for sauce that I make. A little bit chili pepper, very important to give us a little bit, you know, like a nice bite. Yeah. Now the onion, when I saute it, I make sure it gets like, you know, like a little bit clear. I don't want to caramelize it, just to make it a little bit clear. And then I can add the tomatoes and all the rest.
So Nir, do you use olive oil? I didn't get what oil you were putting in
there. No, I'm using canola oil. Olive oil I like to use when I'm finishing like stuff. But when I cook stuff, so I'm using canola oil because I don't want olive oil when you cook it a long time, it gets a little bit bitter. And the canola oil, it's you know, it's a little bit more like bland. So you can I can use it also for like sauce or vinegar. Everything that I want something plain. I add the chili. I want also like to burn it a little bit. To saute it a little bit, sorry. And I have some tip, and always put the spices before I put all the vegetables, because I want to open the flavors. So I put a little bit of cumin, a little bit of smoked paprika. I have coriander seed. I know it's not in the recipe, but I like to use it.
So you're keeping some secrets from the recipe. They're only for the viewers.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's something that the touch. So I have a little bit of coriander seed. It's always nice. It gives you a little bit of crunchiness and a nice bite. Now you can see. I fried a little bit the spices with the onion. If you see it's too dry, you can add a little bit more of canola oil. You know, in the Moroccan cuisine, we like oil a lot, so don't be shy to add more. Tomatoes, I cut it like that, like dice-ish. The whole idea is basically, you know, to cook it very slow. I used to make shakshuka from madbucha sauce. Madbucha sauce basically it's like, you know, overnight tomato sauce that my grandmother used to make us. And every time that we have leftover, so day after we used to make shakshuka from that. So that's basically the flavors that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, we have tomatoes. A little bit of salt. Let's put a few more to make it more amount.
And do you cover it or?
Yes, I'm gonna cover it. I'm not gonna add any water because I want to cook it slowly and to let the tomato release all the liquid, you know. And I don't want it like too liquidy. The shakshuka is supposed to be like, you know, like chunky tomato sauce, a little bit spicy, very rich flavor. With this spatula, I just, you know, I take all the leftover, the stuck in the pan, and I mix it well. I add a little bit of salt, a little bit more, and a touch of sugar. A little bit of sugar.
What is that? Sugar?
Sugar. Like, you know, I like to add sugar in basically every salty dish. I like to add sugar, and every sweet dish, I like to add salt. That's all about balance. To have some good balance between the saltiness and the sweet and the acidity from the tomatoes. You can see. This section is working. I'm gonna cover it now. Okay, it's not ready yet. I'm just gonna put it on low flame. And I'm gonna cover it.
So somebody here in the audience is just asking, so basically what you're doing is you're boiling down the tomatoes instead of using canned or grated tomatoes. What do you
No
think
cans, no grated tomatoes. Everything has to be fresh. And I think you have to use fresh ingredients because this is the real flavor for me. I don't like to open a can and to add it to the pan. It's something in that. It's a little bit, I don't know. I like to use fresh stuff, you know, tomatoes that we bought it today, fresh herbs. So what I did is just to add the tomatoes to the pan. I let it boil, and then I put it on low flame.
Another tomato-related question from David, who's asking if the tomatoes are peeled.
The tomatoes. Some people peel the tomatoes, yeah, but I don't want. You know, shakshuka. It's a street food. It's something that you wake up in the morning. You have eggs, you have onion. You put everything together in the pan, and then you're looking for some healthy, easy dish to make quickly. Some people peel it. My mom, she peeled all the time. She don't like the skin. But for me, I don't mind. As long as you cook the tomatoes well and it's become like a sauce, it's good enough for me. Let's say the shakshuka etina that I used to serve with sweet bread or with skirt steak. So I used to peel the tomatoes. It was like, you know, like more high end. But when I cook for my wife or for myself, I'm just going like that. Here I have a little bit celery leaves, a little bit of cilantro, fresh cilantro, and a little bit of fresh parsley. I'm gonna add it, and I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna chop it, and then I'm gonna add everything at the end to give us a little bit more flavor. Okay, you can see that the eggplant. How I know if it's ready, I just stab it, or with a fork, or with a knife, or with my tweezer. When it's going like very easy inside, I know it's ready. So I think like few more seconds each side, and it's ready. The red pepper, we have to make sure that all the skin is burned and it gets soft, getting soft. Like a few seconds.
Yeah, Margarita here says that peeling or not peeling the tomatoes or anything, she feels it's very like generational. The older generation, generational, like that the older generation always peels, and that
the other, yeah, because you know, like I told you, my grandmother used to make it for all our family, like a big pot of matbucha sauce that she used to work on it like the day before for Shabbat dinner. And she used to take like 4 cases of tomatoes and to sit and to blanch them and then to peel it one by one and then to cut and take the seeds out. And it's like the whole scenario, how to feed the whole family. Now I think like a little bit more fast and you know, quick. But it's for me, I like it like that or another.
Yeah.
Okay, you see the eggplant? I took it out. I let it cool down a little bit. The red pepper, let's see. It's gonna be much easier for us to peel it when we put it in a container with cover, and then because all the moisture, the skin will get off very quick. So I just put it here like that, and I cover it for 2-3 minutes.
Whenever I try to peel peppers, it doesn't go well. So
yeah, because first of all, you have to burn it very well to make sure it's soft and the whole skin is like burned well. This one I was giving it like 3-4 minutes on the gas, but I think like that it's enough. We're gonna get all the smokiness inside. And when you cover it, you know, because the heat, so all the moistures make it sweat. So then it's easier for you to peel it. You can see how much liquid the tomatoes release. I'm gonna give it like at least like 4-5 more minutes on low flame, like that.
It's not easy looking at this stuff and being not being able to smell and taste it.
Next year, I promise you, I'm gonna cook for you your own shakshuka.
So Adele here says that the correct term is to char and not to burn, but we'll forgive Nir for his English. And Joanne is asking, is it possible to just do this in the oven? I think maybe people are worried about all the mess that it makes to burn things on the gas.
You can do it in the oven on grill mode, but it's a huge difference because the whole flavor for the eggplant it's from this open flame. The oven it's not the same. I have to say that. Like I'm never using my oven to char the eggplant. So it's like it's a good way to do it, but
she corrected me as well. By the way, it's broil. So I'm also making mistakes here. But you're saying broil or whatever. Do it on the fire and make the mess and clean it. It's worth it.
Yeah. So you can do it in the oven. Yeah, you're gonna get a good, like a good product. But I believe, on open flame, like the traditional way, this is the flavor that I'm really looking for. Tahini, shakshuka. I really like to serve it with tahini because tahini for me it's like heavy cream. When I want something to make it more creamy, more to add stuff, and I want it vegan and dairy-free, I use it tahini. So always, shakshuka for me, I always serve it with tahini. It's only raw tahini, cold water, and salt. That's it. I want to keep no lemon, no cumin, no garlic. I want to keep it like the real flavors of the tahini. So a little bit of salt and cold water. It's even better to use ice water. And then the tahini become like more, white color and nice.
Nir, Anton from Moscow asks a question that I think can only come from Moscow.
Okay.
Do you put the red pepper in a bowl of water beforehand?
No. I put it like that, fresh, straight on the open flame. You can do it like that. You can boil it before, but then it's gonna be very difficult for you to burn it after it's boiled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's another question here that I would love to hear the answer to as well. Where do you what brands of good tahina brands can you get in the US that you recommend?
In US,
how do you get good?
First of all, you can get the whole brands that what we have here in Israel. You can get it in the US. I used to work with El Araz tahini. You have it in Manhattan in every spice shop. Basically, in every spice shop you can find or El Araz. This is the best tahini, or Har Bracha. That it's also really good. But you have Calustian on Lexington Avenue and 28th Street. SOS Chef in the East Village that I used to work with her years. Tahini is the best. Okay, you can see this is the eggplants. I wish you could smell this, but you can really it smells like Lag Ba'omer, like really smoky. It's still hot, so I take it like slowly. One second, I take me a spoon. Now it's okay if you have a little bit of burnt skin on the eggplant, I clean it as much as I can, but if you have a little bit, this is fine. It's give you like a little bit more flavor. Eggplants is the best.
So Nir, some questions here as you're going. Some people, Elizabeth is asking where she can get good za'atar in the US.
In the US or?
In the US, that's the question.
In the US, first of all, I think you know, I know where you can find in New York. So in New York, you have the SOS chefs. She can also order it online from this shop, from this spice shop. Basically, this is the best spice shop in New York. It's called SOS. You can find it online. The owner called Atef. So when she order it, she can tell her, she can put a note. Nir Mesika told me to buy here, and she do delivery like online. You see the red pepper?
Yeah, yeah.
Super easy to peel it, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's cleaned very, very easily. This part that I didn't burn, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but still, it's not a big deal. Okay.
And Nir, somebody, Erica is asking if you only have an electric stove, can you char it on an electric stove?
On the electric stove, no. But what you can do is you don't have to use the eggplant for that. So you know, in this case, it's better to not using the eggplant or to use the oven, the grill mode. But on the electric stove, it's better not because it's gonna make a huge mess and it's release a lot of liquid. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the red pepper that we burned, I just slice it like that, and I'm gonna add it also to our shakshuka sauce. Okay, you can see it's become like more red and more like rich. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna add also the fresh herbs to cook them a little bit more, and then like I believe like 5 more minutes, 5 to 10 more minutes before we break the egg in.
Some very lively birds there in the background.
So yeah, you know, after 8 years in New York, our first day when we just back, we opened the window and then we heard all this bird. It was like unbelievable. So such a long time we didn't hear the birds. It's nice. Sometimes it's wake me up, but it's nice.
So now maybe Nir, while we're waiting for the sauce to be ready, you can tell us a little bit about sort of how you got into cooking. How did you start? How did this become your life?
Our start cook basically, wow, it's like since I remember, you know, my grandparents, they used to be pastry chefs. They came from Morocco. And me as a kid, I used to like, you know, go around in their bakery here in Israel. They used to have like their own bakery. And you know, I born to this industry. And then I went to the army. I served as a, you know, like how you call it, combat fighter. And then 2 years after that, I became like a army chef. But the real point when I understand what food can do and what food can you know, what food can give to someone, what is the meaning of food, it's like when I lost my grandmother. That's in this point I really understand, like, you know, what is mean, like I told you, like the shakshuka sauce. It's something that I took the recipe from my grandmother when she died. So, you know, my mom called me and she told me, okay, listen here. It was like after 4 years of cooking in Tel Aviv, and I used to be a sous chef. And one day my mom called me, okay, you have to come to Haifa. Savta, she's not feeling well. You have to come right now. And then, you know, I took my bike and I'm going like crazy. And I saw my grandmother that like, you know, not reacting like that in a room. And she's like, she has like few more hours before she leaving us. And for me, it was like life changer because, you know, during the Shiva, so for me, my grandmother used to be like a Wonder Woman. She had like 9 kids that she fed everyone, and you know, her life wasn't so easy and glory, and she had like very difficult time while she moving from Morocco to Israel and with all her kids. And you know, when she died, so in the Shiva, all my family, all her kids sat together, and no one can really cook or you know, can host because they have to sit together on the floor. And then I opened the freezer and I saw like 2 containers of the matbucha that my grandmother made before she died. And you know, I saw it and okay, so what we can do with this sauce for the whole family, like how I can feed them. So I took this matbucha sauce, I opened it in a pan, I break a lot of eggs, I took some bread that used to be also in the freezer that she made before. And you know, the whole family sat around the table and eat together, and then they talk about the sauce and all these memories, they make them cry. And they talk about this shakshuka and how she make it, and you see jokes between the brother, between the sibling, and it's gave, in this moment I understand what tomato, onion, garlic, and everything with paprika can make for people, how you can make people happy with to feed them. And it's not only to come to work 10 hours in the kitchen and then to go back home. It's more than that. When you cook, you have to put your personality inside. In this point, I understand, okay, I cooked before. My goal was, it's always, my goal it's always like, you know, to be a chef and to success and to open a restaurant. But in this point, I understand the real meaning about what is cooking, what is to feed people. Wow. How you take from your own heart, from your own soul, and to give someone, you know, to make him happy.
So you basically your grandmother fed your family even after she passed away.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You know, but with my style, with my twist.
Yeah. That's
okay, amazing. You can see the sauce. So I was give it a little bit more time actually, but I think with the eggs, I believe it can be okay. Basically, it's need like good 10 to 15 minutes. But
okay, so, I'll just say some people are asking about the menu and will this be online? We are recording this. I've posted the menu in the chat, the recipe in the chat a few times. I'll post it once more here for whoever's still looking for the recipe.
Okay, when the sauce is ready, again, I was give it like 10 more minutes cover on low flame, but also like that, it's fine and it's fun to eat. Okay, break the eggs inside. I have here like 5 eggs. Okay, for me, the shakshuka, it's very important to keep the yolk runny because only like that you can really soak all the sauce and all the yolk with your bread, and also the yolk give it a lot of creaminess. So it's very important to keep it runny and liquidy. This one I'm gonna cover it for 5 more minutes, 5 to 6, 7 minutes, and let it run.
Yep.
For meantime, let me just put it aside.
I'll ask you some questions here from the audience also. So Barry is asking, how much coriander did you use, more or less?
Coriander, the fresh, the cilantro, or the coriander seed?
The answer both, because I'm not sure what she means.
So coriander seeds, like let's say around 6 to 7 seeds, like not too much. It's a little bit strong flavors, and not everyone like it. To be honest, I really like it. And if it's a fresh cilantro, let's say like half a bunch. It
Half a
depends,
bunch.
you know, like this amount.
Yeah. Okay. And
So yeah, I'm listening.
and you're cooking it at medium heat? Francis is asking. The
Yeah,
sauce, medium heat.
the sauce on medium heat, and always
Mhm.
to open to check it, time to time to mix it. You know, tomatoes have some way always to stuck to the pan. So
Yeah.
every 5-10 minutes, I just open it up. I mix it a little bit, even if it's stuck to the pan with a silicone spatula. I
Yeah.
grab everything from the bottom. It's a lot of sweetness, a lot of sugar over there. So it's give us.
Yeah. And how long? Lori is asking, how long did you char the eggplant? Because hers is not fully cooked inside.
So I tell you what. Let's take some pita. No. The eggplant, it depends the size of the eggplant. If you're using like medium size of eggplant, let's say like this one, first of all, you have to make holes. And then the inside cook a little bit faster and also get all the flavors, you know, all the smokiness going inside. And let's say like it's 10 minutes every side until the skin is like burned and, you know, and the eggplant is soft.
And you can char the eggplant on a barbecue, right? Some Harriet is asking.
Yeah, of course.
That's classic, right?
This is classic.
Yeah. Nir, we don't have a lot of time, so before we run out of time, I have to ask you, how are you doing with Corona? People are also asking, do you have a restaurant now in Israel? And can you tell us a little bit how it's affected
With the
you?
Corona, I tell you what, March 15, on my birthday, I closed 2 restaurants that I work for. This is the day that the government decided to shut down everything. And then I back home and, you know, I was super depressed and sad. And then my wife told me, why you are so sad? But, you know, Corona, you don't have any control with that. Romy, our 8-month baby, she started eating food. Every day make your own style of food, baby food, but like more Michelin style. And for the last 45 days, every day, Romy gets like a 2 stars baby food. And basically this is our best time, like as a family together, you know.
So
keep you busy.
I'm just gonna share with. Let's see if I can manage this technology here. I wanna just share with some people the kind of food that your daughter's been eating lately.
Look, I always think, like, you know, I'm always trying to do like complicated food, to take this beet and to make it foam and to make it like a cream. And then I told myself, okay, this is the best food for babies. They don't have teeth. They can eat it. Everything is super soft and like different texture. And like you go into a Michelin star restaurant and you have like the first bite and you say, wow, what a bite. Think what is for a baby to get the first bite of, I don't know, like a potato rushdi, and you eat it and, you know, it's like the whole world for you. So every day it's like so funny. She's so excited.
Yeah, let's see if I can show the audience here at least some of the. Right?
That's funny.
How's the sauce going?
I don't know what you're gonna do in her first day when she's going to school. When she get a hot dog or I don't know.
Yeah. So here I'm gonna.
Good luck to the kids.
I hope you can see this. I'm sharing with you some of the food that Nir's 8-month-old eats here.
Of course, that I'm checking allergies and I doing my research every time that I make something new. It's not like I doing test on it. It's, you know, everything is super like professional, and I make sure that it's stuff that you can have it.
This is like hot cuisine for babies, and here you can see Ronnie enjoying it.
Cool.
Right. There's another dish here. Wow, these dishes look amazing, really amazing. Try and show you a few more pictures.
Yeah. People around the world really like it. Like Food and Wine magazine was super excited about it.
I'm excited about it. I can't stop looking at it, and it makes me feel really bad as a father. Nir. Thank you very much for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the shakshuka. So, it's not ready yet. I see the egg white, it's still runny, so we have to make sure the egg white is cooked well. So I just, I play with the sauce, I put a little bit of the hot sauce on top of it, and I keep cooking. It's okay. The egg yolk is soft, it's runny. I have like 2 more minutes. I will cover it back. Maybe a little bit more heat. For meantime, I peel a little bit of fresh cilantro. For me, fresh herbs, it's always like in every dish, every time I eat. I don't know, maybe it's something from my family that we used to eat a lot of herbs.
Yeah. So you add some of the herbs in the sauce, and then you add some of the herbs at the end as well.
Exactly. And it's also, it's like super healthy. A little bit celery leaves, fresh cilantro. What we have here? Parsley.
Yeah, to all the people who are asking in the chat, yeah, you can definitely go check out Nir Mesika on Instagram, and you'll see all the crazy creations that he's been making for Romy. I just want to share, Nir, you're kind of modest, but your reaction to Corona, I think, has been very unique. I know you wake up like at 7 in the morning, you have a schedule, right?
Of course. I have a really tight schedule. 7:30, we all wake up, we drink our coffee, put in, say thanks to the God that we have all this stuff. And we start, me and Liat, my wife, doing like brainstorming. Okay, what we can do, maybe this dish from Timna, maybe let's do like Passover version, let's do like today, because Yom Ha'atzmaut, she ate a kebab in a laffa with some small tomato sauce. And she was crazy about it.
And
so,
you actually canceled Netflix, right? Everybody now is like busy binging on everything, and you actually canceled Netflix when this whole quarantine started?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, basically, look, when I think about it, the inspiration, it's like the same like I used to make food at Timna. Like at Timna, the menu, I used to change it every 2 weeks. And only because, holidays, I got my inspiration from the holidays, from the weather, from, I don't know, from memories that I want to put on the plate. So I think that's the way that I think with Romy, the same.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost out of time here, Nir. Are
There you
we
go.
in the nick of time? Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Yes. So we have this shakshuka. I put these fresh herbs on top. Okay, like that. Of course, it has to be with olive oil, good one. Okay, and you see olive oil I put at the end because I want the flavor of the olive oil. We have this bread and tahini, you can put it aside, but I like it inside. And then you can eat it with the bread to soak all the flavors. And shakshuka, you eat it with your hands. You don't need not fork, not knife, maybe a spoon. But basically to eat it like that. That's it. Buon appetito.
Amazing. Amazing. Some people here in the audience are asking, maybe just before we go, Linda is asking, are you still distributing food somehow, Nir, or are you mainly busy cooking for Romy? If you're still somehow distributing food, making food, except for Romy. Right now, the restaurant is.
Say it again. I didn't understand the question.
If like the restaurant is still working in any capacity, or it's just closed? for now?
The restaurant? No,
Yeah.
the restaurant is closed. In our group, we have like 4 different restaurants with 4 different concepts, and the whole 4 just shut down on March 15th.
Yeah.
And also delivery, it's not like, good reason to open again. So for meantime, we close and we're just waiting for the day to come back and I have so many ideas for menus to change, for new concepts. I'm just waiting for the moment to go back. So we're patient.
Thank you so much, Nir, for this amazing shakshuka, and I hope that next Yom Ha'atzmaut I can come and eat your shakshuka in person in your open restaurant, and all this craziness will be, more fodder for stories that we'll tell our grandchildren. And I miss you very much, and send
I
my love
miss
to
you a lot.
Liat
Thank
and
you so much.
Romy.
Thank you. It was a big honor for me.
Thank you so much for cooking for us, and I hope your shakshukas at home came out well as well. ביי, ניר, נשיקות, חיבוק, חיבוק.
יאללה, יום עצמאות שמח.
יום עצמאות שמח לכולם. ביי ביי.
ביי, thank you.